Yeah, so this building an impressive profile, the things that I actually like to say is, uh, uh, first impress. You won't be able to impress others or build an impressive one within within a night or something like that. You just have to have that patience in you. That is the first thing. And the second thing that I would like you all to do is, by not following what others are doing. It is like everyone else is uh, like if you'll read the headline of others, they'll literally say I'm open to opportunities. They don't mention what kind of opportunities they are open to, or it just confuses. So I'm open to opportunities, I'm open to networking, I'm open to all of those things. So even if you are mentioning, it is not if you mention. So but if even if you are mentioning, you should be very specific about the things that you are actually mentioning. So if when you are actually mentioning the things, then people will come to you, and when people obviously come to you, then you are just upgrading your profile. Your profile gets upgraded. So the second thing that I actually want you all, or would suggest you all to do is, uh, don't add certificates, or don't just add like I'm Oracle certified or that. I used to do that, personally. I used to do that, but now I'm so I just don't like it, because I'll tell you why. Because certificate is not something that actually defines me. It is my own things, like the things that actually I'm having. I'm a dense person, so all that density that I'm actually having, that defines me. So I actually have added that I'm a machine learning enthusiast. I love data science. I'm a speaker, and all of those things. So what defines me is not a certificate, because that certificate may expire or may not expire. If someone is telling about uh, uh, I'm just certified for like Coursera certified, some associate or something like that. So Coursera, anyone can do that Coursera course, because like we all know about financial aid and all of that. So that is not something that is defining you. What is defining you is what you have been working on, and that is your skills. That is who you are and what you aspire to be.
That is quite true, Avishya. So from my side, I will be just pointing out few details that you should be having your you should be optimizing your LinkedIn profile in that manner. So if you are building up a LinkedIn profile, then keeping up a
Harsh, I
professional
think
picture is a must.
if you can show your profile, and they will just get a practical example.
Yeah, sure. Let me just share my screen. So if you are like having a profile, then the first thing that you should be keeping is a professional picture. So this is like a candid picture of mine. It is not exactly professional, but it does the work. So next thing that you shall keep is like a bio. This is the thing that will be actually reflecting on your profile. So you can place some sort of a tag, like if you are a fresher, if you're a sophomore, if you're a junior, if you're a senior, then you can place that. You can place what you are currently doing or who you are currently working in, and you can even place some of the technologies that you work with. So I primarily work with Python and JavaScript. I personally love Python, so I just keep the Python here as a tag. But this is completely onto you. You can optimize your bio in your own manner, and your bio is subjective of your success. So whatever you have got a success in, if you have got a university scholarship, if you have got something else, then you shall keep it here, because this is what reflects on your profile. Then the second thing that you can have is your about section. So this is something that you can customize according to your own needs. So if you're a developer, if you are into software development, then you can place all your development skills here. And one thing that I would like to emphasize upon is that you should be able to quantify as much as possible. So let's say you have done an internship at some organization. So you have not to just say that, yes, I have done an internship here and here. You should be able to quantify on what sort of work that you have done during that internship. So let me just go over here and let me show my work experience. So if I'm a Microsoft student partner, so I will be able to quantify whatever work I have done inside being a part of that particular organization. So let's say I am a project administrator at student coding. So I will be able to see that whatever work I have done being a student project administrator at student coding. So if you are placing any sort of an experience, and remember, virtual internship experiences from Ishan Sharma, they don't count as actual experience. And if you are having any sort of experience that doesn't got you some sort of a stipend, or didn't got you some sort of like a swag or something like that, you should be keeping that in your volunteer experience, not in your actual main experience here. And second thing, while you are placing your education, try to keep at least 3 tabs. One should be your college, one should be your higher secondary school, and one should be your senior secondary school. And lastly, you should be having a license and certification, and you can keep your license and certification here as well. So you can straight away tell at whatever courses you have done here and whatever projects that you have made, and you can even tell whatever honors or awards you have got as part of this. And this is something that the recruiters will check a lot, and this is your skills and endorsement. And LinkedIn has got something that is known as a tech skill quiz. So you can easily go over here and you can see a host of skills up here, and you can easily take up a short quiz on that. So every quiz has almost like 15 questions, and depending upon your performance in the quiz, you will be getting a skill badge. So if you are seeing something like this, past LinkedIn assessment, it means that you have passed the skill quiz. And if you're like applying through LinkedIn jobs, it is something that is actually reflected on your profile. So many of the times, if you are directly applying through a LinkedIn job, so let me just go over here, not over this. Let me just go over here and let me just search for an intern position. And there are some positions I will like. So this is LinkedIn Easy Apply. So I can just go over here and I can submit my application. And this is how easy it is to apply to an internship on LinkedIn. So as you can see that this internship actually like is asking me to take these two skill badge. So one is search engine optimization and one is Google Analytics. So if you are taking these skill badges and if you're like showcasing them on your profile, you will automatically be getting an edge over all the other applicants on this particular internship. So like right now you can close this, you can straight away go on to some other internship and you can apply as well. And if you are making some sort of a resume, then try to customize it according to your own needs. You should not be applying with the same resume at different portals. And if you are preparing some sort of a like your personal profile, like your personal resume, then you should be going on with a pre-built template. Like Novo resume has its own template. But if you're trying to make some sort of a, like a professional resume, then you should be going with something like this. So it is completely encoded in latex. It is something similar to markdown, and it gives you a lot of flexibility and gives you a lot of enhanceability. And such type of resumes, they actually like pass easily through the ATS test. So like about ATS, now many of the companies, they are getting thousands of applicants, they are getting thousands of resumes, and to shortlist them, they use a software that is known as ATS. And many of the resumes, even if they are like properly made, they get shortlisted in that. Some of them don't even get into the hands of the recruiter. So if you're making a portfolio that is well encoded, you can actually place links over here and all of that. Then it gives a certain sort of like a impressive profile to you so that you can present that to a recruiter. And besides all this, you can also place your own GitHub ID here. You can place your personal portfolio, like a website that you can simply create using HTML, CSS, and you can even take a template for that purpose. So this is something that you should be focusing on a lot, and this is something that actually impresses the recruiters quite much. So, Abhishek, would you like to add any more points to this?
I think you all have done like each and every point is covered. So apart from building an impressive profile, so there's one thing that I actually wanted to say, and I just saw someone saying that in the comment section about cyberbullying and all of that. So when you're using LinkedIn, at times, especially it happens with girls that many they just get like a gush of messages from boys, and at times they just don't behave in an appropriate way. So I actually have had discussed we actually have had discussed this with Antaripa to discuss with you all. So in a situation like such, when a boy or any other person, it may happen to boys too. It is like to anyone. It is if it is happening. If any case of cyberbullying is happening, you can simply block that person or report it to LinkedIn, and you'll all be done. It is just that it has become so common these days that especially with the girls. So there is no worry. There is no need for you to worry about all these things. It is just a social media platform, and there is no need for you to take all such things seriously. So it would really be helpful if you're just like for you and for LinkedIn too, that if you'd be reporting it out, reporting the users out.
Okay, I think we've already talked about what all you can post and share. Again, guys, you should really just post whatever good is happening with you, what all you're trying out. If you even have like a failure or at something, just post it and share with someone. People get some insights using that too. Yeah, so I think this is something very common. Like even in the beginning, I did this mistake, and that is to when you are asking something from someone in the personal messaging, you like I did this mistake of writing a huge block of paragraph, and again, as Bhavish has mentioned that people don't have a lot of time to read these messages. There are a bunch of messages that people keep messaging, so you really have to make sure that you are concise and you are to the point of what you want to say. Don't really say like, hey, hello, how are you, like come to the point, okay, like don't fool around or something, right? And yeah, I think we've discussed the other points.
Interaction and engagement you can actually get in the more you interact with people, the more engagement you get. So it is kind of,
Yeah, like
yeah.
it goes
So
hand in hand, like
it
you
is
have to first of all engage with someone and only
the
then they
more
can engage with
engagement, the more you interact, the more you'll get the engagement. So yeah, they both go hand in hand. And as I've just said, the best way, it is not that I'm quoting it up, but it has been said by Gary Vaynerchuk that the best way to get engagement is by not worrying about it. So uh, there's one more thing about engagement, and so all of these things are so interrelated that I can actually talk for the whole day. It is just that, when you compare your engagement with someone else's, then actually, yeah, you just get disheartened. But if you compare your engagement with your day one, then you would get motivated, you'll feel happy, you'll feel proud that yes, I have come this far, and I can really go like way beyond. And with time and with patience, I'm able to achieve all of these things, I'm able to achieve my loyal audience. So it is just that, yeah, so you should not be comparing yourself, because when you compare yourself, you actually insult yourself. And that has been said very well by Bill Gates. Yes, exactly, by Bill Gates. So so you should not compare yourself, and you should actually. So my main motive in this talk was to motivate you about posting it, and it's okay if you don't get engagement at on the first day, and so it is all okay. Because to be honest enough, I remember that I didn't get any kind of an engagement or appreciation or any value to my first post on my my first day of daily coding. So it all started with nothing. So so you should all be thinking like that. You should not be you should not be worrying so much about engagement, the likes that you are getting, or what people are saying about you. You just, when you are really focused and when you believe into yourself, your content, then you definitely be better. Because it's like, it is not necessary for you to focus on any content, like the worries others are giving, like anything that is worrying you. You should not be thinking about that.
Right, Bhavish. And I think that one more thing that is important is to not compare yourself with other people and their engagement. Okay, other people have different sizes of audience, and even that the connection and the audiences have different post positions, and some of them are students, some of them are more into having jobs and all. So don't really think about comparing with other people and how much engagement they are getting. If you really want to compare, just compare it with your first post when you first started out, okay, and just stay focused on your work, okay, and continue to do this for extended periods of time, and you will see fruitful returns.
There's one thing that I used to say when I didn't used to get any engagement, and at times I do say it right now too, like in these days too, and that is, we all know who Google is, what Google exactly is, the turnover and all of those things, how big the company is, and how everyone is craving to get into that company. But I don't know how many of you, I don't know how many of you know about that is, the first day of Google was in a garage, where the mechanics all sit and all of that. So Google started at that point, and now it is a multinational company, and the same for Apple and all of that. uh, so you should not be getting disheartened with what you are actually having right now. Instead, you should be having your goals in a way where it should fear you, where you should not get feared that much, but it should excite you more than it then it actually scares you. It should excite you more. That is what the real purpose in life, and that is what the real purpose in posting or etc. should be.
Okay, that was amazing, Bhavish. And guys, let's just wrap it up with some quick AMAs. If you have any questions, let us know.
Like the speakers told that we should if we are into programming or coding, we should follow the 100 days of code. So I wanted to ask about it, like how when can we follow and how can we just started with it?
Okay, Aditya, I will take that question of yours. So, 100 days of code, it is not some sort of a challenge. It is something like at a personal level. And 100 days of code is all about coding at least 1 hour for continuous 100 days. And it is something like a streak where you will be like learning some new technology, getting project, like building projects, getting some internship and all of that. So I have been following 100 days of code since the month of January, and I got to win two hackathons, build a couple of projects, land upon two internships. So it was quite of an awesome experience. The main purpose behind 100 days of code is to build a sort of linearity. So if you are coding 1 hour per day, then you will build a practice, and it is quite difficult to defeat a person who is into practice more. So you keep practicing, you keep building, you keep disrupting, and in this way you will be getting a lot of experience in that simple manner.
Yes, there's no substitute to experience.
Hmm.
Also, I
We have
think
one.
with 100 days of code, if you miss one day, you don't have to start over, I think. Like, even I started off in January, just like Harsh did. But then I missed 1 or 2 days. But then again, it doesn't really matter. You just need to keep going. And 1 or 2 days doesn't mean that you have to start over again.
I started from January too.
All of us are
We
doing the
all
same
started
thing.
from January. Yeah, we all started from January.
That's amazing.
We have one awesome question from Nalini. What is the role of endorsement for any skills? When it can be achieved falsely, then what's the point of it?
I'll answer that
Yeah, go ahead.
because it's like it has been like many a times when people have been approaching me and they have been endorsing me like I've had experienced this for like twice or thrice. People have endorsed me and they actually want me to endorse themselves. So I used to endorse them, and it is just that in the same field. So if it's like if I'm having 30 endorsements in Python and machine learning, they are having 40, 45, 50, and someone even had 150 endorsements. But uh, endorsements won't really help them because they are not showcasing themselves up. They are not posting any content. They're not doing anything. So it is just that it won't really help if someone is having like if someone like if someone is having only 5 endorsements, but he's posting daily, he's posting some awesome content, he'll get the job. In contrast to someone who is having 150 endorsements, but he's not showcasing anything or is not showcasing any skill. So endorsements is not anything that would is not something which would actually help you land a job, but is definitely a parameter to judge someone when two people are actually on an equal stage. If there are two candidates A and B and they both are equal, so at that moment of time endorsements just plays an additional parameter.
Yeah, I think that's so true. But for me also, like random people end up endorsing me without even knowing who I really am. Okay, so like it doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters much. It's just a random number that keeps increasing whenever someone endorses you. It's not much of a use.
Yeah, and I'm happy that the amount of endorsements that I actually have got are from my loyal audience, so it feels like better, it feels really good.
Yeah.
And Aditya has another question that what is the role of recommendation in getting opportunities? So I will be first answering this part. So let's say like your laptop has been damaged and you're looking for some shop that can actually like repair your laptop and can get some new accessories. So what are you exactly going to do? Are you going to like search for hundreds and thousands of shops in your city, or are you like going to ask your friend about this? So you will just ask your friend that हाँ भाई मेरा लैपटॉप खराब हो गया है, इसके लिए कुछ मतलब कोई बढ़िया दुकान बताओ जहाँ पे जाकर ठीक हो सके. So he will be suggesting you one shop. You will be going into that shop and you will get your job done. And this job can be done in a equally efficient manner by any of the other shop. So why did you exactly go to that particular shop? Because it has been recommended to you. So similarly, in the job market, there are thousands and thousands of people who are looking for that one particular position. Even if it is like a very down, like a junior developer position, they are looking for it. So companies, they are following the standard procedure of recruitment, but sometimes they need particular suggestions from their own employees. So this is how recommendation or referrals, they come into the play here. And this is how they can actually help you in landing up a job at some product based company or FANG or anything like that.
Yeah, and talking about comparing with endorsements and recommendations, I would say that recommendations are just glorified endorsements. And so, again, as Harsh said, it does help a little bit, but definitely endorsements are not something you should be running after. Recommendations are definitely good, I would say. And if you really want recommendations, go give recommendations to your friends. Okay, like if you've worked on a project in a hackathon, then you can just give a recommendation saying that I had a great experience and he helped me out with back-end technologies and I helped him make the front end. So yeah, that's something that you can do.
Yes, you should be.
And that
You
is
should
why,
not always be
yeah.
the taker. You should give at times. You should not always be the one receiving recommendations, but should always, but it should sometimes give too.
And Nalini is saying that she likes keep posting on LinkedIn on daily basis. It is quite frequent, and sometimes she sees that her post is not always getting the same reach. So, what is the mistake that she is doing? So, Ishan, Bhavishi, would you like to take that?
I would say
Uh,
that, yeah, Bhavish, you go ahead.
yeah, Ishan, yeah, Ishan. After you.
Okay, okay. So this has happened to me so many times. First of all, if you use a link in your post, it will automatically get less engagement. And if you really want to share a link to a Medium article or to a YouTube video or to some external website, consider putting it into the first comment. That way, it isn't exactly into the post. So then it gets a little bit more reach, I would say. But yeah, what was the question again? By the way, I forgot.
It's in
She
the
was
chat
asking.
section.
Yeah, she was basically asking that at times she at times it happens with her
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Okay,
she's not
okay.
able to get that
This, this,
constant
this,
stagnant reach.
this is all about the hook. Okay. The first line. What are you writing in the first line? If that is something that relates
It's
to a
catchy.
person that is looking at it, then it would definitely have high engagement and reach. Really have to understand who your audience is, and if you would share something related to software development, and your audience is also into software development, then it would there would be higher chance for it to get noticed versus if you are talking about marketing to them. So that's what I think. And it fluctuates a lot. Okay, there is something called as engagement groups as well that you can join, but that would be fake engagement, I would say. So it depends on you. If you want to do that, you can do that.
And if you want to follow my way, don't keep posting on LinkedIn on daily basis. Try to keep a gap of like 1 day or 2 day, or try to keep separate time slots where you can post, and try to be as unique as possible in your post. So let's say you are more into like technical development and all of that, then you should not be just keeping posting on the videos of your project or the pictures of your project. You should try adding on something like a blog on your project, how you did it, what is the technology stack you used, and what was your thought process. So try to induce as much uniqueness as you can in your post, and in this way it will get the required engagement it deserves.
Yes, that indeed is a nice way of getting the right engagement for your posts. And at times it happens. It's like, yes, if you're posting daily, there's one drawback because I post daily, so I know that very well. So when you're posting daily, many at times it would happen that people will get so used to of it because especially when you have crossed 100 days or so. So it actually happens like that. So people won't like it. They won't like it as in they would like it, but they won't react on your post. So when they are not reacting on your post, so what happens actually is it won't get that reach, because it's like if Ishan is reacting to my post, so Ishan's network would be able to see my post or the thing that Ishan has liked.